Modern Black Man Podcast.
Praying and sinning at the same dang time. Welcome to another episode of Modern Black Man Podcast. I really thought the lighting was better than this for me, but I'm still joined by my beautiful co-host, Siren. How you feel?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful I'm here. I do not want to be too heavy, but I wanted to talk about a very specific topic with you today. One that I have discussed with another friend of mine, and it's just one of those topics. Like, it's heavy, and I think I just need to accept that. With that being said, have you seen Target's new advertising campaign?
Pride?
Which one?
Is it the Pride one?
Yeah, it's one that is made, and everyone on earth is up in arms and upset and called to action and wanting to boycott Target. I'm broke too. Because they have pro-trans and offensive, sexually suggestive children's clothing, amongst other things. I mean, I have lots of general gripes, as you know, with everything, but specifically I have some gripes with Target. They fired me in 1999, and I was there. I really don't give a doggone about soft lines anymore. And I hated hearing that headset every 5 minutes. But when you go down the aisle, and it's offensive a little bit when you see onesies that say things like, "Good job coming out," and presumably whoever is wearing this slogan just came out of a vagina, but there's not one present in their house because both of his dads are named Henry. I just think it's a really provocative and interesting, complicated situation because there are elements of offense. And I also think that there's elements of great coincidence as well. Do you think it's okay to have sexually suggestive slogans on kids' clothes? If Doug were here, he would ask a question like that.
So there's a good video going around on TikTok where there's a lot of heterosexual suggestive slogans on baby onesies that straight people still buy. So I'm trying to figure out why the outrage all of a sudden. The outrage is only because people hate queer people, and that's it.
I agree, because it's easy to try to say, because think about it, if you were a spin doctor, right? Well, heterosex brings babies here. That's why we said it. Like, it would be easier to justify.
It's equally inappropriate.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. It does kind of move it. Representation would matter, would be more of a affirmative point for this. Like, girls that like girls. What is a positive, politically correct statement to say that I like to slap cheeks? I mean, like, I don't know what you know what I mean?
It's crazy to me. People never have an issue with anything that's like the norm to them. Because I mean, again, like I said, the onesies where it's saying all mommy wanted was a back rub. Why does a baby need to be wearing that?
That doesn't have the same baseball bat crack I'm not gonna be super funny, but I thought it was a really funny joke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can definitely harness more power. Like, both of my dads are lawyers, bitch. Like, it would be like really easy on that
That's
side.
not both of my dads are lawyers. There's nothing. The baby saying all I wanted was a back rub is implying that your mom got her back broke so you could get here. Both of my daddies are lawyers. Lets me know that hey, his daddies are gay and they paid. There ain't nothing appropriate. That don't match to me. I'm sorry.
And it's a positive affirmation for the pride side as well. I agree. I don't think that it is equitable.
Meanwhile, the straight baby letting you know that his mama got her back broke.
Right. I don't think that it's a fair exchange or it's like equitable. But in the reality, like point for point, right? That's so true. But the dads, I don't know if you saw the big guys with beards that have the little rap album they did in, the aisle six. But they were absolutely disgusted with Target and Bud Light and how the world is now transgendered after we spent however many years, right? Because this is something that people are just now identifying this way in the last however long commercials have been around.
That's not true. Queer people have been around forever.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see that point, but it has like the point. The worry for me as a dad, the fat diabetic crew, if we were to jump in there, would be that well, not my kid. But then intellectually, I always had the thought, I don't think gay people have ever needed help with marketing. Neither has Rolls Royce. Like no one has ever had to be like, you know what, that Bentley commercial really got me over the hump. I decided not to get that Nissan, right? So I hope that the same thing doesn't convince my son Tyler into wanting to consume dick the way that his mother.
How? Okay, can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
Okay, so you talk to me, and I'm a queer person. We've talked for a good little while. I'm pretty sure it's been over a year or two. You haven't wanted to suck dick.
No, right, right. But what? It's like AIDS. Specifically, I think with this population, there's a I don't want to say phobia because as a man, as a grown man, I'll never concede that I'm actually scared of gay people because I don't think I actually am. But like, it's this worry factor, and I understand it through the lens of how I'll say white people interpret me, but that fear that people get from the other. Yeah, I think gay people get that, and again at the same time, how you gonna give gangsters a pass? Like it's crazy. It's you know.
It pisses me off because again, do you see how time and situations repeat themselves?
Every time, if you don't know your history, you are doomed to repeat it. Is how it.
And America is just now repeating it again and again and again. Like I said, this connotation that queer people have not existed and they've existed forever, just out of the public light because of again how the society treats them is ridiculous. It just gets ridiculous to me. So now people are pissed because wow, now we know that they exist. Like I mean, come the freak on. That's all. Like I get annoyed when people are so up in arms about these things. The people in your community are a rainbow. There's black people, there's white people, there's Chinese people, there's gay people, there's trans people. That's the world, people. Everyone is here.
That's America.
There you go. Wait, I can't hear you now. I'm sorry. No.
Now you can hear me.
Yes, that's perfect.
Awesome. All right. I forgot what I was gonna say though. No. Suggestive nature and how we try to subvert this culture. Like we're going to actually get rid of it. And this is gonna. I don't want to say this out loud because it sounds horrible. I don't think that anyone should exterminate anyone, anywhere, anytime, race, gender, lifestyle, whatever. But like the oppression factor, I bet you there's probably a point in history we don't even know about where people were persecuted or something like that. Like if it's not like the Middle Ages or something, I don't know.
You ever heard about Experiment 731?
Oh gosh, educate me. You know I've never heard of no Experiment 731. Is it real? Is this real?
This is very real.
Is it gonna
It
make
would
me
have went
cry?
undiscovered. It wouldn't have went undiscovered had it not been for well, for some researchers and historians. This has nothing to do with queer people, but just to show you about hatred. The Japanese were heavily fixated before World War II, well, during that period, about, the best ways to do chemical warfare and biological warfare. They hated Chinese people.
Yeah.
So guess what they did? They abducted about 30,000 of them. No one survived. Okay. And did various horrendous deprived tests on these people. I'm talking about ages from newborn to whatever 100 years old, and no one survived. The information would have never made it to light if there were rumors going around. So America got involved and investigated. The scientists who were involved admitted. They got a plea deal with America that if no one ever talked about it again, America would not persecute anybody. They also killed some Russians. Russia found out about it and also cut a deal with the Japanese. So a few of the scientists did serve like maybe 5 years in a work camp, and then they got away. They killed, like I said, probably 30,000 people. No one made it. No one. The life expectancy in this laboratory was about 2 months.
Shit. So they were the best. They were cleaning.
Honestly, I'm not trying to compare struggles, but it literally reminded me of the Holocaust, probably on like, if you like, what was the doctor's name? Dr. Mengele, and I'm saying his name wrong.
Mengele.
Yeah.
Joseph Mengele, or the one Goebbels, the one that experimented with twins in North Africa. Yeah, those weird fucks.
So take them and give them like thousands of more patients. We're talking about hardcore this level. I mean, when you hear about the things that went on, because there's still some documentation about what happened. And again, like I said, these people were also they were taking, not only they got to the point where they were so sick that they were even taking their own people and experimenting on them. The experiments that went down in this place were, I mean, like you couldn't, for them to be testing biological warfare or chemical warfare, it goes beyond that. I mean, they were.
How long do the experiments go on?
Years. That's why the number is so high. Like I said, and this is not like, it's not big information, because again, it almost was lost because of these deals that were cut, because Japan really didn't want anybody to know that this happened, and this was government funded.
Yeah, it's a clean. Middle Eastern countries, I think, have gotten away with this. I'm gonna leave it at that and be in respect. But absolutely, it's.
So that's why I say history. The fact that people can't read through, and again, like I said, you don't have to like gay people. You don't have to like trans people. You don't have to like anybody. But the thing about it is, what breaks my heart with people is they don't see history repeating themselves. The same, like I said, it's punching down. The same white man who hates the black man, then you have the black man who hates his queer brother and sister. Like, it keeps going down the line. We don't need to like each other, but we live in a community together. People exist here. If you don't like the pride stuff at Target, don't fucking buy it. Go buy your eggs and carry on with your life. Because like I said, no one has an issue with sex being all over the TV when it's heterosexual people. It ain't right then either.
That's the point I was going to make. It's the difference in how people have sex. And people really want to act like they're upset. Like, I don't like that Hank's fucking Hank. Like, I want to be in that. You know what I mean? Like, why would you want to insert yourself? But then the paternalistic side of man comes in where you think you're protecting someone or you're helping someone. And that's what I think is really unfair. Because I think that's more of an intellectual, like, thing. That's a social thing.
People want to protect, but this is the funny part about this. People crack me up, and people sit online or they sit up in places and they talk about, like, being a parent, for example. I'm such a great mother. I do anything for my kids. I love my kids, but let their kid be gay. They hate them. How did you change so fast over something so tiny? Your kid didn't murder anybody. Your kid didn't do anything. Your kid's not the next Hitler. They're just gay. And you're going to
Always
tell
the
me,
best parent too, right?
yeah, and they're always I would never do this. I'm a perfect mom. I cook every day and all that stuff. BS. People want to hide. People hide behind, especially nowadays. I'm just using social media because it's so popular and that's how we express our views.
Yeah.
People hide behind these screens and pretend. And I'm gonna compare it. People want to be perfect. Ain't nobody perfect except the Lord. So
Amen.
I'm sick of it at this point. It's like, again, this social media has given people a new platform to where now they feel like they are some godly like level, or they're perfect, or they're without flaw, or they're not doing something. Because all these people who sit behind these computers, whether they straight gay or not, is doing some buck wild stuff behind closed doors. I can assure you that.
I love social media because of what you just said, though. Because the people that are clearly not that disappear. If you haven't noticed, they value their privacy at the highest premium when exposure is at risk. And I think that's a great point of social media. It's kind of do I want to call it an equalizer? Like, it really elevates the field.
I love social media because it is a great tool to connect us all and get information, but I also hate it because of that. There's such a toxic layer to it, and especially, again, people ain't gonna stop shopping at Target just the same way they asses ain't stop going
Right.
to Disney. So there's that. I'm sick of people lying about. I'm sick of people sitting up there and lying. And again, don't sit on here and tell me you're a perfect parent if you're gonna diss on your children because they're gay. I thought 2 weeks ago you was telling me how you was Miss Perfect Mother Lisa Johnson, and you would do anything for your kids. You lay your life down the line. Now all of a sudden, if little Tommy is gay, you hate him. Girl, please go to hell.
Doesn't that just expose people living vicariously through their children at an alarming rate? Like,
I think it also just
way too many
exposes people again being just full of shit. I mean, again, there was somebody had posted recently on, it was Twitter or Facebook, and they said, y'all just get on this app and lie all day. And I mean, I'm included. I'm not perfect either. Y'all get on this app and lie all day. Girls lying about the kind of dudes they'll date. Girls, stop lying that you only date millionaires, knowing damn well you was dating Darnell who work at Amazon who ain't got no car. So I mean, again, it's the pretentious for me. You got women on here who are homophobic, but we talking about how they want to bang women. Now, how that work?
What does homophobic mean? Is kind of what I've learned in this conversation, this journey. Like, I can't hate anybody for being gay, and I don't think it's fair that I have to be concerned for anybody for being gay also, because that's what our inclinations are. As if what they're doing is illegal or wrong. I mean,
Or it's gonna rub off on you. The gayness is just gonna infect everybody.
from a spiritual level, I do feel called when I question somebody's gayness. That's messed up. Why is it with gayness? That's true. You try to like reconsider that. Like, maybe you want to do something else. You might want to, like, maybe you need more titties. Like, right? But that's true. You don't do that with.
And it's a who cares situation. Like, I always ask people, again, if you, especially when people talk about the kids are being affected. Okay, y'all let y'all kids watch some nasty stuff.
I don't like lesbian porn, but women love it.
But they hate gay men.
Yeah, sure. That's my point, though. Like, I don't like gay men, and I don't like men at all.
But you don't have to. But you don't have to. The point is what I'm saying that makes no sense is, number one, the fem thing. What people want to see is fetishism. I'm not gonna go on down that rabbit hole today, but the
that's
thing
why
about
people
it that makes me
question
mad
lesbianism. You call it fetishism. We question lesbianism.
I call it fetishism because of this. Let me break something down that I noticed with society. Two femme, and let me be very specific about this.
Pretty big.
Yeah, if they were in a relationship, you would not take it seriously. But if they're doing anything of sexual nature, you'll get turned on by it. Now, when it comes to mass presenting women, y'all bang with them to an extent, but they still are the butt of your jokes. You don't really respect them.
Dude, I've had friends like that. And Aubrey, if you bring another fat, sloppy white girl from Iowa with a mullet to this apartment again, I'm going to air it out, is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like, why is it that when beautiful, like, I don't even like that, and I don't expect that, and I can only watch so much of that. But we reject it vehemently. Men, me, I am such a pig when it comes to my sexual pleasure and gratification. I think that's a hetero-specific trait. All Cardi B. Everybody got to look like Cardi B. I need 17 of them. I ain't met 17 women in my life that look like Cardi B. But right now, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, where the brain goes. So I don't know why we get like that. But I can certainly identify with just being pissed off if I see two men kiss. I watched Janelle Monáe's video on Instagram, and I loved it. It was blurred. It was blurred because
it piqued her fancy. Because it's all the things that I like. You don't have to like. That's what I'm saying. People make me mad with fetishizing femme women, but again, you don't have to like gay men. You don't have to like gay men porn. No one's asked you to like that. But acknowledge that they.
Huh? I have to show you this comment.
Where?
This guy.
We can see you.
I was like, me too, but I, appreciate that.
Thank you. So, again, because it's fetishism, it's selfish. Again, you don't have, like I'm saying, I don't expect you, because you watch lesbian porn, to go watch gay men porn. I'm not saying that at all. I get it. That's not your cup of tea. What I'm asking for people to do is just to respect that they live in our community and exist. That is it. Like I said, it's easy to respect femme women because you like this. I'm saying, sorry, it's okay. I'm not mad. But again, you seeing this and the BBL booty and all that stuff like that.
Love it.
You like that.
Mm-hmm.
You like that.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. You're not even, again, like I said, if them two women was in a relationship, you don't care nothing about that, because all you're looking at is exactly
the one that I want for me alone. This guy's got more. I can't read it.
Send me links, StreamYard, bro. I'm not lying.
No, but they're beautiful, and I just don't like them together. Like, I want one woman for me, and I want to do all the dirty, disgusting things without a camera, because I'm that limited. I really admire and I look up to guys that can grow for more. I just think it's interesting, because if we look at self-esteem, I think that's a trend, a motif at least. It's low self-esteem. They have to reject, and you say down. I think that's how we identify as straight. I can confess to that, right? When
I don't think it's a straight thing, though. I think because
I think to be with guys, right? Like, just being around other guys, like, it's expected to trash gay culture, to assert your straightness or whatever it is. And it's like,
I think it's deeper than that, especially when we talk about the Black community. Because one thing I've been noticing with the Black community for me is getting. Oh my gosh. I think there's a thin line growing in the Black community where we are borderlining, where we are getting close to being white supremacists. There is very little separating us except for skin color, and that is about it. And the reason I say that it's different, I don't think it's just straightness. I think because, I'll even say it for Black men, Black women, in our society, we have already been punched down upon so hard. It's
really
great to have. It is great to have somebody below us. So guess what?
Yeah.
I may be Black, but I ain't queer. So it's easy for it to be like, oh, I don't like that group because they're different. So now I'm not the only different one here. There's somebody else who's different and you don't like them either. So now guess what? That's why I said there's a thin line starting where Black people are becoming anti-Semitic. They're getting into almost what do you call it? These conspiracies are white supremacists. There's a thin line that is like it won't break because of color, but it's there and it's getting thinner and thinner every day with these situations. And I don't think, especially living in the state of
Willie
Florida,
Lynch is where it started, and because Black people cannot assert dominance anywhere and anything,
they pick somewhere else to do it.
anytime, we have to jump onto somebody else's success. And I think that the larger concern and bigger problem is that there's not another minority cluster or group, another minority majority to which we can truly call an ally. Black and Latino relations need to improve. I live in a predominantly Latino city. Um, you already know. You probably do too.
Yes, I live. See, where I live, that's like I was gonna bring up Florida, which is the sad part about why I don't get that people aren't catching on to this.
Florida,
The
Texas,
state of
California.
Florida, yeah, but yeah, the state of Florida, for example, and if you ever want to hear some really good trans commentary, if you want to see that side of it, my now friend but ex-partner has a TikTok where they talk about a lot of political climate down here with that. So if you ever want to tune in,
I
just
know
to hear.
that's y'all. Wow, man,
They
my
do a
boy
good.
Doug talking about he wanted to vote for DeSantis today. Shout out to the homie Doug.
I'm sorry, but Doug, please don't. But I don't think that people notice, at least in the state of Florida with DeSantis. Just think about this. Do you really think DeSantis is too hype about Black people?
He'll be just like Trump.
So think about it, especially in the state, just in this concentrated state. If he is able to get such a good uproar and legislation about queer people, what do you think is the next level for him?
Well, it'd be immigrants and then us.
And so do you see where people aren't realizing that? Again, he started with the queers, now he's at the immigrants. And do you think that we are untouchable? Because we are also not that well liked either. That's what pisses me off with
We're
people, that they're
2
not
or 3
realizing.
steps away. There might be another group.
We're not. Yeah, there's another group. We're not.
It might be
on the
drug
country.
addicts. There might be a new drug in a decade. Come on, don't give up.
So again, look at what I don't think people are realizing that it's a slippery slope where, like I said earlier in our private conversation, where there are certain things in the community that may not seem like they might benefit you directly, but they can benefit you. And that is why I said there's a benefit to people in the community becoming allies to each other, whether we are different or not. Again, it's like abortion. I don't have to agree with abortion, but guess what? If my daughter gets older and has a friend who needs an abortion, I don't want her to have to go out and get a back alley abortion and risk her life for that. So no, maybe I don't agree with it, but I still want somebody to have access to safe health care. It's not always about what you personally fucking think about stuff.
That scene, and I agree, it's so progressive. We don't live in a society where we really want anyone to progress or do well. Like,
no,
that's
capitalism.
The problem.
Because it's capitalism.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, and I think that's why I, as an older man, I'm starting to see all these redundancies, and I don't like how men bitch out. To all the men out there that bitch out and don't engage with their community, with younger people, educating anyone, it's a problem, because the truth, knowledge, and information is the only thing that's going to change the world. And because we don't have that, we don't have those outreach, that's why this bullshit keeps happening. People aren't brave enough to ascribe to a truth, to assign truth to anything. Me and my buddies talk about it all the time, about how full of it is everybody else is, right? Books were the thing when I was a kid. But now the internet, how do you fact check, Siren? How do you know that the information you're getting is the truth? Because I share a lot
but people don't. So that brings me to a good point. So there's a term I learned recently about arguing in bad faith, and that's why I have, number one, that's not the only reason I haven't been doing the podcast, but I also have been kind of like toning down on going back and forth with people, is because I had to learn about arguing in bad faith. Now, even with the internet, there still is a way to fact check. We all went to school and we all know how to look at reputable sources. So it kind of pisses me off online when people share social media is not the way to do your research. Even like I tell people for the podcast, as messy as my podcast might be, I go pay for scholarly articles sometimes because I'm
I
that
love
deeply
visual.
invested.
I love visuals, man. I'm a visual. Like if I can see it.
They're great, but again, even that's something like even when I watch YouTube videos, like for example, the Experiment 713 thing I told you about, that content creator had his scholarly articles and research and books where I can go click it and read it for myself to fact check what happened. So there is a way, again, but why? Like I tell my friends who do this transphobic stuff, when you take a video of some random hateful person who lives in Wisconsin going on a rant, that's not reputable information. Someone retelling a story that might have happened. If you go give me the news article, and that even kind of is spotty because it's a news article, at least I can have that. But we're not even doing that. People are so consumed with social media to the point where they believe that this is fact checking, and that's not the case. People have the tools. It's just like you said. I get it. I'm a visual person too, and yet TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram has held us with 10-second reels where we can get divulge of information, but that's not legit information. It's not the same as going to your local library and going into a database and getting and fact checking stuff. That I have argued with people who have told me that their opinions and personal experiences are facts.
Carnal knowledge.
And it is, and I mean, again, that's why I said, and that's why I had to learn the term arguing in bad faith. It's not to be mean to anybody, but I will be prideful in this. Like I tell you all the time, when I argue about certain stuff, I went to school. It's like me and somebody were having not an argument, a debate about vaccinations. And I told them that I was stepping away from the conversation because it was argument in bad faith. And they asked me why. And I said, because even though it's on a basis level, I graduated with a degree in a science. So that means I took micro, I learned about epidemiology, and I've learned about pharmacology. So some things I do know versus this person, I know their background. They ain't had that experience. So yes, I'm arguing in bad faith with you because you're not going to be able to pick up or understand my argument back to you. So it's bad faith. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, I can tell people, you know what? You can definitely believe. Like I tell people all the time, even with this conversation, I am not going to convince anybody to like queer people today. I'm not going to do that. So I'm not on that.
I
But
could
at the
have
end of
fucked my boy up today. My best friend. I could have choked the shit out of Doug today. We were arguing about the U.S. Constitution. And I was talking about one of my favorite constitutional scholars, Barack Obama. And he tried to get me to sum up the 14th Amendment. So, yes, I can relate.
yeah, so I mean, again, the arguing a bad faith thing is real because I'm not, like I said, we're not going to change anybody's opinion. Every blue moon, you get lucky and you give them some new. I'm good with giving people new information. Like I always say, yeah, I'm not going to argue about so many things because if I have a background knowledge in something and I studied it, or just like I say, even with the fact checking thing, if you are somebody who genuinely believes that reputable, factual information just came out the side of your damn neck, then good for you. We can't keep this conversation up because obviously you have not learned about any really. We ain't on the same level of argument.
You know, you can tell when you talk to people that they have to cue you, guide you, or slide you along the conversation to say certain keywords to be right. So it's like, that's fine, and that's one thing. I just love having a conversation with anyone that has a source to cite, information and rationale that is their own. It's incredibly rare. So
It's getting a little
it's
tricky
rare.
up.
It's
But I
rare.
can't blame, but I can't, like I said, like we both said, you're a visual person. I am also visual. But
Mhm.
I can't really get mad at people when they do believe some of the fake things that go around on social media because again, it's all by design. So yeah, people are hyper now, obsessed and addicted to swiping through TikTok and watching 30-second videos that hold their attention. The attention span now is shorter. So I can understand why they might run with something that's like, oh goodness, well, the trans people, I can understand why they would run with it. I don't agree with it, but hey, guess what? I get it. It's really, I got even with, like I said, with black people becoming new white supremacists, I don't blame us because guess what? We've grown up in a society where we've been conditioned to do that. So I can't really blame people for certain things anymore because I get that this is the space we're living in. Until people are willing to break out of it, this is where we're going to be stuck at.
Limitations. The mind is the greatest limitation in our society. There's no reason that you make money, struggle to provide money, to give it away, to stuff that's not serving you in any way and won't be here tomorrow. That's what I think is the saddest part of everybody's misguidedness. We are more superficial than ever, but I think that this is the first time when the visuals are getting worse. Look at art. When's the last time you saw some like good ass art, like somebody that actually drew something that wasn't AI or some weird
I
techno smash up? Because the AI art is ridiculous, and I love visual and technical art, but
it's
I'm saying
plagiarized.
humanity is starting to question itself for the first time.
I still so I from what I had to learn because me, like I said, me and my ex partner went through this phase where we were becoming very bogged down with the media we were consuming. So
Mm-hmm.
I know I still need to go back to kind of backing up from consuming a lot of social media. However, what I did choose to do is I rearranged my For You page. So I don't get certain content anymore. Every blue moon, like that, like for example, the lady with the onesie and stuff. I happen to be scrolling through TikTok because I'm back using TikTok for my own benefit, and I seen that. Otherwise, I would have never seen that because I don't interact with certain content anymore. So like that's like the Target situation. Until you really brought it up in the outside of the video, I really wasn't aware because I don't interact with that content anymore because I made it like that on my page because I don't have the mental capacity anymore to deal with certain stuff. The same thing with Facebook. I just am content with deleting people as I go because yeah, I don't want to interact with certain things. You're not gonna piss me off on my own social media anymore. I'm good. So I still see art. I follow people who paint and things like that.
Artists, so I'll make a long story short, but the reason why I'm falling in love with art all over again is because it allows you to just have that awe moment and it's not always elaborate. The fact that it's not moving, or maybe sometimes you can smell it, sometimes you can't smell it. And music is art as well. But to have a sense please you with something that's made palatable is an experience. We don't have that the same way that I remember having that 20 years ago. Like when someone did something and contributed something to the art world, and it was individual and it was them, and it was profound. And now the sense of whatever those things are has ruined it for me.
It's I think like I said, and I hate to blame everything on social media because it's not all social media's fault, but I think we can see where has became a detriment. But that's why I like the comeback of you need to go outside and touch grass. And it's real. People need to go outside and go live. That's why I said even when it comes to these people up in arms about not liking certain groups of people, have you went and talked to those people?
No.
Have you entered in direct and I'm saying like that's important. Have you entertained hearing from them? Because again, like I said, I don't agree with everything on either side. I have talked to people about them having body dysmorphia or gender dysmorphia,
Yeah.
and that is a universal thing of everyone. Like again, like there's so many overlaps and connections between all of us. Because I know the one thing I know with social media is everybody wants to be heard. That's one thing that I notice
Yeah.
internally in humans. Everybody wants to be heard and everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to internally be themselves in the world. All of us are restricted from that if you want to be real about it.
Some people want to see, some people want to see you, you
And
know?
so but people all want to be connected. People all want to feel wanted, so it's
Yeah.
we overlap on so many things, but we try to find so many differences and so many conflicts between us to why we can't connect. But we are more connected than we think. And again, we'll all find that out all very soon when we all pass. Not all of us together, but eventually when we all pass away, we'll find it out very soon. Because again, we're all internally the same. When you die, you're gonna turn to dust just like everybody else. So you ain't really that
There's
damn
no
different.
way that there's Jewish heaven, Puerto Rican, Colombian, Nigerian, and American heaven. Like, we all have to be going to the same place, right?
I mean, we are. I believe it. So all this up in arms about how much we hate each other. I think there's a simple solution. And again, whatever you don't like, you don't have to be involved. And like I said, you don't have to like a certain group. White people don't like black people, and they still play into our culture. But I haven't seen one of them turn. Not a lot of them turn black yet. I mean, come on now. So same thing with queer people. You don't have to be, a queer person, but you can still learn to live amongst and respect each other.
I think it's messed up when you have gay friends. You always want to make them do extra alpha male masculine things to be accepted, but you know that that's not the life that they're living. Uh, I think that it is unfair because it's like, nah, man, Luke's cool, dog. Like Luke's dope, but like we ain't had to make him do all that. Like we know what kind of life the homie's living right now, and you know that was just my ego. Like I
Yeah,
just
who Luke or whoever is, and just letting them be them.
let
Like
it be.
I don't know. I think people need to break out of their boundaries and hang around different people and just to
It's
go
an
outside.
insecurity. I told you, man. I feel insecure unless, like, my boy Luke is way better at all these things. So like, I have to give it up to the homie. Like, damn, he's really killing the game right now. Like, I have to play secondary and not, you know, try to play him like he's secondary because he's super duper gay. Like, but
And I
yeah,
don't know why. I mean, just people just need to again be comfortable being who they are. At the end of the day, life is short. I mean, you got one time to do this, so you might as well live as your free
but
true self. But
before we close out, that's the other side of me where I feel like I'm not a good friend if I don't say nothing. Like, yo, bro, like, you know, like, as far as like the salvation goes, my guy, like, you know what I read, like, and that's so, I will admit, that is rude, but I feel like it's what I know is the truth, and I can only suggest and present. And once I make the decision to commit to my friendship, I have to understand that that's the life that they're living and keep it moving accordingly. That's just as bad? Like it goes both ways. See, we both go
that's
through it.
it.
That's it.
That's
So
it.
that's how I be playing it. You've released some amazing videos lately. Some some incredible content, gorgeous content. Got
When I feel like my content, if I when I get to come back, I guess I'm gonna just have to come like on a solo kind of tip at home.
uh-oh.
Um, but I don't know. I feel it's kind of scary because I feel like a lot of there's certain things that have changed for me that now I don't. I won't say I don't agree with. I just am no longer in those spaces. So I always wonder how my content will come across. I mean, today was kind of back to normal, but what videos are you talking about?
Just impressive, it's incredible.
Is
Uh,
this poll content or is this
yes.
talkie talkie?
No, this is pole content.
Oh,
You're
thank
like an
you.
angel with athleticism. I don't know the names of everything. I think he did a reverse aerial. I don't know. It was great. It was great.
Well, I'm about to say I know TikTok is kind of full of old content because I have to wait to record new content until I get more TikTok appropriate attire.
Oh yeah. I did see one that was wild with the eyes. That was impressive, right? Like
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm thinking of I really want to do a tutorial, but I think that if I post it to TikTok, I might get in trouble. But I'll be
is
close.
it a mixtape? Would it be considered a mixtape?
What pole con? I know pole
If you
content.
have
Is that what?
25 minutes, you'd be
No,
surprised.
it's a no, it's a tutorial. I want to show a cool trick. I don't know if people because I've only seen one tutorial on how to do this. Have you ever had a
I would charge
uh,
for that. I've never done the
I,
class.
so I want to do. I haven't done it in a long time, but I'm gonna see if my partner will let me try it on him. Doing a headstand in somebody's lap, and it's not that hard.
A headstand on my lap?
In somebody's lap, you never had it done.
Wait, a headstand? I wouldn't mind it. I'm trying to think of, how
How?
I could take advantage of the situation is all I'm
You
processing.
could. I mean, I can't go that far. Me and my partner have done some wild stuff on my pole, but I can't. I probably can't take it that far.
I think that
We
would be
just
special. You should absolutely do that. You should document it for you guys.
we
For sure.
have just not. I want to show how to do the headstand. I won't show anything else I've tried on there.
Yeah.
But But the headstand is something that I think a lot of people can do that's actually fairly safe. People who can't even do headstands on the floor, because I remember when I first learned how to do it, and it's not that hard because you're literally using your part, whoever you're doing it on, you're using part of their body weight. So
True.
yeah, I might do it for TikTok. It'll be a pretty decent trick, especially
Man,
since
you better set the stage for that.
I'm gonna ask him to record it. But after
Yeah.
everything gets kind of settled down around here, because like I said, I want him. I'm
You
trying to
hot
get
right
back into
now?
TikTok. Huh?
You hot right now?
I'm hot.
Yeah, you hot right now? Like it's you gotta tread carefully, right?
No, I'm trying to get back into the content, especially the podcast. So people still do ask me about it, and it definitely polled, especially with new bills. I am trying to get back into teaching people because people still ask me, but
I
need to
think you could
book.
build a whole business on that if you wanted
I'm
to.
I'm trying to I'm trying to get back into working at. That's why I'm trying to get back into posting my content and like just me in general getting back in the gym. I mean, I have been back in the gym for the past few weeks as well as getting back on the pole. Just trying to get myself back out there so I can get back into maybe doing more business things. But I'm like, I be having so many damn plans. It'd be hard to organize. So
No,
I got to get.
don't abandon it. Take some
Oh, I'm
vitamins,
not.
rinse, wash, repeat.
People
Yeah,
love the pole content. People love all the dirty content. I realize that.
you don't really have any. I've been waiting on you to drop dirty content. You don't really have dirty content. You got some good content. You I actually, I'm trying to think of what you did in it. Super strong. Yeah. That's a new one. You have a new one. You ever do a really strong move. You get inverted and you go like cross. This shit's hard. Like
Oh, you mean the one where I
for a
put my
guy,
leg like that?
I think it would be like the equivalent of a flag. Do you know what a flag is? Like a standing flag with a pole. Like this shit's
Yeah,
hard,
are you talking about when I kicked my leg off?
man. With like that's hard.
Yeah,
That's hard.
it it's
Takes an
just it's
incredible
just
amount of core strength.
it just is a brain. I'll say like at this point in pole, that move was just kind of like a brain kind of bender, trying to figure it out. I won't say everything because I mean there are some moves where I'm just trying to get my core stronger for. But yeah, that's why I'm like
I
I
done seen
miss
you fall
teaching.
few times now. I think I done seen you fall because you keep it funky. But you're
Oh yeah,
pretty.
I fall. I
You
fall.
fell before, but you're pretty good. You don't actually fall. I think you fell a couple times when you were like trying to get back on because it seemed so genuine because you're like, oh my god, I can't. Like it's like okay, this chick's really trying to get her grip strength or whatever it is. But once you got that back, you were fine. But yeah, like that's just hard. I can't. I'm trying to get my uppers back too because doing pull ups once you go enough and you get enough muscle memory and you get enough muscle build, the sky's the limit. And then you start incorporating that
Exactly.
core. And I know, man, just keep eating protein and go. Just like vitamins. I don't know. Don't I'm doing the same thing, man. I'm juicing. Stay
I gotta
healthy.
get my diet back this weekend. Kind of killed me with all this movement, but you know,
Yeah, it
we'll
comes
get
together.
there.
Consistency. And that's the trick. Um I, I know for a fact I have a personal trainer at medicinalmoves.com, and it's all about consistency. If you have the consistency, you'll make the transformation, make the change. Everything else is math. If you calculate all the food that you eat, it's pretty easy to remember if you worked out or not. And if you have to count how hard you worked out, you probably didn't work out hard enough.
This
Easy.
guy, this guy, my tie is trembling. I have no clue what that means.
I think he's trying to say titty. What
I
you
know, but you can't.
trembling?
But you can't. I'm about to say you cannot see any nip nips there. Like there's this is.
You can't, but he came back. Um,
I know.
I'd love to have, I don't know. We'll be back again. I think I said June 1st. That's like next week. Is it this Thursday?
That's this Thursday. Yeah.
Are we gonna try to do it again this Thursday?
I will be around. I need to. Yeah, I'll be. I mean, I'll be here. Thursday. Yeah, I'll be here. Friday, I'm gonna say Friday. I got plans, and then Saturday, hopefully, knock on wood, I'll be done moving. So
Well, I hope that you get that move done. Is there anything that you want to share? Any projects that you're working on, or anything before we break?
No projects. Continue to follow me. Hopefully, maybe I'll get the gumption to sit down and record a podcast episode. But yeah, for now, we'll just,
You need to celebrate this pole business. I think that the podcast is the perfect platform. And then you can brand and merchandise your own brand of products and cut me in at 5%. We're good.
I got you. Look, I got you. But shoot, thank you again, of course, for having me.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you so much. It's been interesting. I think I'm getting back to where I need to be at. So I appreciate you working with me. June 1st, if you're around or whatever we got to work, we'll work it out. But I do appreciate you so much. And until the next episode, peace.
Peace.